on your radio across Liverpool, the North West and North Wales on DAB+. This is Liverpool Live.
It certainly is, and a very good morning to you. It's Roy Bassnett with you, and every couple of weeks I have the pleasure of being in the company of a member of the City Side, Liverpool City Side tour, I might add. And today it is Chloe from the office. Good morning, Chloe.
Hello.
It's Chloe from the office. That's probably like I've overly abbreviated your title there, really.
Sounds like I'm on David Brent's team.
Were you a fan of The Office?
Oh, yeah, massively.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's one of them things. I've seen bits of it, I've seen, when he's giving it all that and what have you. I should watch it because it is the kind of thing that I find funny. I mean, I've seen little extracts of it, so perhaps maybe I might have to binge watch a couple of series or something like that. Yeah. Do you have this is probably a dangerous question to ask, do you have a David Brent in your office?
Oh, definitely like the boss.
Phil Olivier.
Definitely Phil.
He's David Brent. Oh, anyway, so what are you going to do now? You're out of a job.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, oh, I know. I mean, listen, it's one of them things. I always get the impression from speaking to you guys that you have a really good camaraderie down there. There's a lot of fun going on. And believe me, you have got some characters there. There's no getting away from that. So I would imagine this week, because the weather's been pretty nice. Yeah. Has that been advantageous to you guys?
I'd say it's definitely picked up this week compared to, previous weeks, because obviously in the summer we're always really, really busy, but winter time, it's just, a fact of working in tourism. It's an occupational hazard,
it's a fact of working in tourism. It's a fact of working in tourism in this country.
Yeah.
Because, you do have to take that into consideration, unless you've got some real battle-hardened Icelandic people whose weather isn't that much of a concern, then yeah, I can imagine it is a bit of a challenge. But I know you still get people, because people still want to do it. You can put your kind of your coat on and all of that kind of stuff, and your bobble hat. It's not too bad. Having said that, based on what you were telling me, sometimes hats, maybe even wigs, is not such a good idea on the open top bus, is it?
No, it can be a bit of a hazard sometimes.
Because you were telling me off air about. Go on, tell me a couple of your wig stories. Go on.
Well, there was this one time we were driving down Menlove Avenue. It's when I was guiding on the City and Beatles tour. We were driving down Menlove Avenue, and the trees can sometimes be quite, low hanging. And this fella who had quite a bad toupee. He stood up to get a photograph, I think, of the trees, because it's so beautiful down there. Right. And, his toupee ended up in the branches.
Oh, it never.
It did.
Oh, that is funny.
Instead of being sympathetic, I just burst out laughing. I didn't know what to do.
Listen, and you could try to be as professional all you wanted there. In that situation, I would be absolutely the same. Oh, that is so funny, that really, isn't it? But, occupational hazard, I suppose, to a certain degree. But it is, as I say, you will get them people who do want to go out there. And I know you don't do the kind of tours as such. Did you always enjoy doing the kind of Beatles stuff, or was there other stuff that you used to be impressed more by doing, like the architecture and things like that?
Oh, well, I love everything. I love everything about Liverpool.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything. I love doing the city tour because I love sort of changing people's perspectives about the city, because we get a lot of people who come to Liverpool for the first time and they say, do you know what, this is not what I expected. Yeah. Because there's still those pre-existing negative stereotypes about the city, unfortunately.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there.
So it's quite a powerful thing to be able to change those perspectives. I mean, just by them walking out of Lime Street and seeing St George's Hall, that's the first thing you see as a train passenger. That is an incredible view, and it just changes perspectives immediately.
I did it yesterday. We had Stacey Jackson, who's one of my regular contributors, but normally she does the show on the phone, and I had to take her from this part of the world to Lime Street Station. And of course, as I'm driving up from Hanover Street, and you kind of get close to Lime Street, and then you've got to go to the right and come back round in order to drop off. I said, look at that building there, when I was on about the St George's Hall. And he said, that's just a magnificent building that would be a credit to any city in the world. Beautiful thing. And then we got a bit further up, and I'll be honest with you, then it's my opinion, and I'm sure they won't like it, the Adelphi, which needs a bit of work on it. I'm sorry, it does. And I think that when you look at how good the city is at the moment and how wonderful the architecture is, and that is a stunning building, That is a stunning building. It needs a bit of TLC on that. I think we could certainly benefit in the city if that was done up. But anyway, that's me being a little bit political there, and I do apologise. But there are so many things for you to look at around here. So there's been a bit of an upturn in the footfall this week then?
Definitely. I'd definitely say so. I think it's coming up to that time of year now where you've got the first school holidays of the year.
Yeah.
Next week.
Is that next week?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, God,
okay.
yeah.
It's been a long time since I've had that headache. Yeah.
Half term next week, and then after that, that's really where it starts to pick up. And,
Yeah.
going into late March, early April, that's really where...
I've got a feeling in that early part of the year, it is going to be chaos. I'll tell you why, because I think people have had a long winter.
Yeah.
I think it's been cold. The cost of living and all of that kind of stuff may show signs of improvement then. I could be wrong. And if that is the case, then people like you are going to be really at the coalface of it, because people are wanting to do that. And, more than ever, I would say that people like to come to this city because it's not just a question of, go to Liverpool, it's meant to be nice there. You've got so much to be talking about. And also, hanging on the backdrop of that at the moment is going to be Eurovision.
Absolutely.
So what's your take on that?
Well, I am a massive, massive Eurovision fan.
Right, okay.
Absolutely love it. I just love the cheese of it. I just think it's absolutely fantastic. And we've got some things lined up for Eurovision.
Okay. Can we say, or is that still under wraps?
I won't reveal just yet. Just yet.
You better tell me off air. I'll tell you now. I am a relatively recent Eurovision convert. And I've been watching Eurovision since I was a kid. And then kind of fell out of love it when we were doing things like flying the flag, and all of that kind of stuff that we were represented by. But certainly from probably 2010 on, this is the important thing about Eurovision, what people forget, isn't it? Is that whenever people think of Eurovision in this country, they think of Bucks Fizz.
Yeah.
And they think of Cliff Richard. And it has moved on so much since then. So from 2010 on, credibility started coming into it. Don't get me wrong, you still get the crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Like knitting ladies from Kosovo and things like that and what have you. But I always remember watching it. I think it was 2019, Rotterdam, and that was I think it was the year that James Newman, was that 219 or 220? It might have been 220, but it was when James Newman came last for us. He was on entry, and the song it was an all right song, but there were so many good songs in it.
Yeah.
That people started watching it, and ever since then, certainly in this country, people have gone Eurovision crazy. And I think that when it comes to Liverpool, it's going to be exceptional. And if you guys are onto that as well, you're only going to enhance the tourism experience for people coming to the city. So there's a lot of pressure on you guys because you're in an ambassadorial role there, really, aren't you?
I mean, absolutely, yeah. And, you were saying before about we've been going through a cost of living crisis and it's been a really tough winter. So what we're trying to do really is make it as accessible and affordable as possible. We're really trying to keep prices down for people because we are actually one of the cheapest tours in the country anyway. And we really do pride ourselves on that.
You don't get voted the status you've got for no reason.
Well,
no,
absolutely. So, I think it's something that is really, really important is that, you have a quality product. That's what it is, isn't it? It's a quality product, but at a really affordable price as well. And I think people see that and they realise that, and that is why they do choose us over competitors.
Right, there you go. Now, what about, just before we move off the Eurovision stuff, say for the sake of argument, you get the uptake and the advance booking sales for the Eurovision thing is huge. And David Brent says, right, you're going to have to sing a Eurovision song on the open top bus. Who is the most likely person within the team to do that, and what do you think they'd sing?
Well, I would vote probably Chris to do that.
Chris with the uke?
Chris with the banjolele.
The banjolele. Oh, there's me demonstrating ignorance. Yeah.
However, I don't think he'd go for it. Mind you, he might because he's got kids.
Oh,
but right. I think Jimmy would really go for it. Jimmy with the uke. Oh,
yeah.
Is it banjo? No, it's a uke, isn't it?
It's a uke, yeah. Right, okay.
I think he'd really go for it. He loves it.
Do you know what? Just before Christmas, you kind of caused me a lot of trauma when you said you're going to be Father Christmas, and thank God for the weather, which stopped that. So for kids, I might have ruined kids' Christmas and everything. Said, "Oh, Father Christmas is so not what I expected." But what I'm going to do is I'm going to compromise because I didn't get to do that for you, but I think what we'll do, right? Tell me if you think this is a good idea. I will come and spend a day at your place, right? And you give me a crash course on everything I would need to know to be a guide for your firm.
Okay.
And then I'll go on the bus with one of your guys, and I'll be the tour guide, and they can take the mickey out of me. You know, so we've got Roy. He thinks he can do it. So, and then I'll just make it up if I just see something on the coast. Yeah. You know.
That's all we do anyway, you know.
I'm offering you that if you want that. That's a challenge. I'm prepared to take that because I love what you guys do. But make sure it's in a warm month. Right. Not doing it in the rain.
Okay, we'll do it in December then.
December, right? Okay, yeah. That's probably how long I need to prepare myself for it. To be honest with you, right? Listen, we'll talk more in a short while. You are listening to Liverpool Live. It's 10:25. Chloe is with me from Liverpool City Sites Tours, and we are going to be talking more with her very soon indeed.
On your radio, across Liverpool, the North West and North Wales on DAB+. This is